Let us start with fertilizer topic. So as usual, we will be going to cover one or two data points and then the challenges involved, measures, initiatives and way forward. So if this is done, our portion is done for fertilizer. So with the data I'll go. India specific data is given here. 55 million metric ton consumption is there. We are consuming 55 million metric ton. So India is the largest, third largest producer, however second largest consumer after China. We are producing more, however we are consuming more also. So it is one of the important data, that is we are third largest producer of fertilizer and also second largest consumer of fertilizer. Urea is the most produced is urea. The most consumed is also. So another most and it is also most imported. So most produced, most consumed and most imported as well. Okay. So that are the important points. Then we have Lok Sabha Standing Committee on Chemicals and Fertilizer report. So it says that the ratio has been changed from 4:3.2:1 to it is 7. It was 4 initially, now we are changing it to 7, that is nitrogen urea based is 7. Okay, 7 parts. 7 is 2.8:1 NPK ratio. Okay, that has been changed according to Lok Sabha Standing Committee on Chemicals and Fertilizer report. Okay, so then we have nano fertilizer also in use for sustainable crop production and maintenance of soil health. So apart from that, we can say this one, according to economic survey, if you spend 1 rupee on agricultural research and development, you are going to get 11.2 rupees in return. Apart from that, if you consume, if you spend 1 rupee on subsidy giving, you get only 0.88 rupees in return. So which is more efficient? R&D in agricultural field is more encouraged, should be encouraged, right? So fertilizer consumption trend is 197.67 to 357.80 in 2023-24 according to survey. Okay, so we are consuming more fertilizers these days. It has been almost doubled, right? Then we have integrated pest management in Maharashtra, nitrous oxide emission reduction protocol in Canada, best practices. This you can mention as a case studies. Okay, integrated, we know this term how much it is important. Integrated pest management that is used in Maharashtra, it's a good example. Waste to fertilizer in Nepal, we know that waste to wealth has to be gained. Such practice is seen in Nepal. They are converting waste to fertilizer. We can also implement this. Nitrous oxide emission reduction protocol in Canada. Okay, so now we see what are the issues with fertilizer as an input. What problem it causes if you use fertilizer as an input. So economic wise, if you see, import dependence, we are more imported because urea around 25%, phosphate around 50%, 90% we are importing. Potash almost 100% we are going to import. So more import will be there. That's why balance of payment also will be disrupted, right? Misuse of subsidies, input cost for farmers, the cost will be high, input cost. Okay, damage to fiscal health as I mentioned before only, and external issues as we know from WTO. Diversion and black marketing is also happening because we are providing subsidies, right? Design based issues, economic survey 2023-24 says POS not integrated with the land record data. So whatever POS is there, it is not integrated along with the land record. That has to be done. Then we have a illegal diversion for non-agricultural usage because there is a subsidy provided, they are diverting it to non-agri usage also. Then usage issues, imbalance use of fertilizers. So it may be more using, okay. Imbalance, it is causing imbalance in price of a fertilizer, high subsidy on urea and DAP is so it is cheaper. Nutrient imbalance is happening because of it. Consumption bioaccumulation is also happening. Eutrophication, we read this whenever you talk about environment in agriculture. Eutrophication, bioaccumulation, soil degradation, these things has to be mentioned. Micronutrients which are not focused much, like zinc example, okay. Example is zinc. MRP hierarchy causing disuse of a certain fertilizers, okay. So what are the initiative we have taken to avoid those? Neem coating of urea. So because the urea is diverted, now we are going for neem coating urea, so that it will be no more diverted as much it used to. So then we have a new urea policy 2015. Policy on promotion of a city compost. If we have city compost only, then we can reduce the dependence on fertilizer, right? Then using of a space technology in fertilizer sector. That means we are using space technology like Earth observatory satellites and all, so that we can determine the resource of phosphate and we can reduce the import of those. Then we have one nation and one fertilizer under Bharat brand. Then we have Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samruddhi Kendras. This is important. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samruddhi Kendras. Then we have PM Pranam, that is Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth. Such a good name. PM Pranam. Soil health card to determine what kind of the health is followed in particular soil and what kind of crop can be grown in that. Also urea gold schemes. Way forward, economic optimum nutrient application, reduction of a input cost. Then we have diversion and black marketing. For that we can go with agri stock. We are making a data here. We are storing the data, agri stock. Then e-rupee. Instead of giving direct subsidy, you can give e-rupee and then farmers will buy, rather than for everyone with Aadhaar card subsidy, right? Usage, scientific based approach. We also say precision farming. Long term soil health should be taken care. So whenever you talk about long term soil health, definitely talk about PM Pranam. So it's like you're bowing to earth, right? You can remember like that also, or you can remember the abbreviation, which is good, right? So long term soil health, PM Pranam. Consumption, city compost, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. This is also good. We are also following our traditional agricultural practices which are more efficient in case such are encouraged, okay. Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, zero budget natural farming. Then we have addressing in MRP hierarchy also. So optimum price, DAP should be priced the highest, MOP should be the lowest. Accordingly we should be changing. So dioxyaminophosphate, that is. Then complex fertilizer should be priced in between, okay. Crop specific use should be there. We should not irrationally use it. We should have a practicality and specific term of application of a fertilizers based on the crop dependency, okay. Restrict DAP use main to rice and wheat. Use complexes and single superphosphate to meet potash requirement for other crops. So these are some of the things. So already we have seen this. So that's all about fertilizer. We have seen the Pranam, soil health card, Krishi Vignan Kendras, all these things, right? Next we have a e-technology. Electronic technology should be used in agriculture. So now we see the data. Only 2% of Indian farmers use apps in the field. Only 2%, not even 10% and all, just 2%. Very, very, very less. Internet access, if you see in rural areas, it is only 13% growth of smartphone usage. Then 67.6% in rural areas, 1 or 3% in urban areas, okay. 13% is a growth. White paper on making India a global leader in agri-tech innovation. So under this we have Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, and United Nations Capital Development Fund also. 1% agri-tech penetration in India, 40% farm mechanization as compared to US, 95% Brazil 75%, China is 57%. So here 1% only agri-tech is used and 40% is only mechanized compared to other countries. Only 1% of agri-technology and only 40% of mechanization. We'll read about it in depth, okay? Now you remember it's only 40%. So in 2024, according to Economic Survey 2023-24, agri startups have started around 554 so far, okay? Case studies, if you see, mobile app to connect agri market in Punjab. So it's a good one. Technology Punjab, you can remember. Mobile app. Scientific sericulture in Mizoram. So sericulture in SS, it's Mizoram. Like that you can remember. SS, it's Mizoram. Okay. So silk production. Scientific sericulture in Mizoram and mobile application in Punjab. It's a good case study. Government schemes also we have. E-Krishi Samvad, farm apps, Meghdut. They will give you weather forecasting and all, so that you can plow the necessary crops at that period of time. Meghdut app, very important. Centralized farm machinery performance testing portal. E-Rashtriya Kishan Agri Mandis. E-Rakam, that is Digital Agriculture Mission. We have one mission on the Digital Agriculture Mission 2021 to 2025. And I also mentioned AgriStack is there to store the data and all. Under India 2.0 architecture. Unique farmer identification number has been given. Foundational registries also are there, okay? So it is farmer registry, geo refer registry, village maps will be there, and crop zone registry. This was on news recently, AgriStack, okay? So they mentioned the registries also. Okay, what are those? Farmer registry, farmer names and database will be there, and their crop grown, that registry will be there, and geo referred village maps also there. Okay, that is AgriStack, okay? This was under news, so you have to emphasize more on this. Farmer registry, village map, and crop zone registry. Recent technology intervention in PM Fazal Bima Yojana, we have DigiClaim payment mode. So DigiClaim payment mode, yield estimation based on the technology. To give insurance, at least they have to estimate, right? So yield estimation based technology, weather information network and data system, collection of real-time observations and photograph of a crop. These are some of the technology inputs. So how can this help? Technology help. In case of input technology, e-Chaupal, information on the weather, agricultural practice, input sale, alternative marketing channel, all this will be through e-Chaupal. If you just remember the name also, it is work is done. So you remember e-Chaupal. Then we have a Kisan call center, answer the farmer queries, village resource centers, AgriSnet. So to efficiently communicate information service in Tamil Nadu, AgriSnet, okay? Umang app is also there. It is to get the beneficiary and payment status under PM Kisan scheme. Umang app, okay? Kisan Suvidha app. Suvidha app will be knowing, right? Kisan Suvidha app. Just practice 2-3 times, that's all. RML Farmer Krishi Mitra app, okay? Pusa, this is related rice, right? Pusa Krishi app. Krishi decision support system is there. Comprehensive soil fertility and profile mapping. So mapping, weather, for everything app is there. Just practice at least 3 or 4 of them, that's all. Production level, we have DBT, direct benefit transfer, central portal, right? Central agri portal. Digital agriculture mission, as we already mentioned, digital agriculture mission is there. Unified farmer service platform, e-Sagu is there. It talks on agri advisory, okay? Geo Krishi platform. Then IFFO Kisan Agricultural app, M Krishi app, Krishi Mapper, Digital General Crop Estimation Survey. You don't need to remember everything. Whichever you feel like it is interesting to you, you can remember. See, DBT is easy. Agricultural Mission, you should be knowing Digital Agricultural Mission 2021 to 25. Remember ESAGU, easy. Then you can remember mapping. So mapping, Krishi Mapper. So these things. Post, we have Agri Markets. So it is AgMarkNet. Then we have National Agriculture Market ENAM, we know, right? AgriStack, ENAM. ENAM, AgriStack. If you can remember these two also sufficient. Then we have CDP Suraksha also. It is instant dispersal of a subsidies to the farmer. So it is important. For instant dispersal of subsidies, you can go for Suraksha, CDP Suraksha. So apart from that, upcoming technology, what you can use? You can use biotech. So that BT cotton, BT brinjal, yeah, microbial, inoculant and biofertilizers, blue biotechnology. Basically, you can use in upcoming quantum computing, AI, IT in agriculture, robotics, nanotechnology. Then problems here is financial limitation, awareness gap, resource scarcity, market access, education training. We know this, right? Human capital should be formed from human resources. And we have resource scarcity also, financial scarcity also, socio-cultural factors as well. So way forward, policy support, R&D, outreach program. You can say here reaching the last mile. Okay. Market access, optimize resource management, training and capacity building, entrepreneurship and collaboration. So you can say agripreneur. Like entrepreneurship, agripreneurs in agricultural field. So agricultural startups, agripreneurs, farmer-centric approaches. These things you can say. The next input is seeds. We'll start with data points. Ashok Dalwai Committee on Doubling Farmer Incomes, it has said. So we are aiming for doubling farmers' income. If you want to focus on it, you should also focus on seed. Is one of the points mentioned by Ashok Dalwai Committee. It is an important fact here. Ashok Dalwai Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income. So if you see other data, you have a direct contribution of quality seed alone to the total production is just 15 to 20% only, depending on the crop. Only 35 to 40% are purchased annually from the organized sector, while 60 to 65% are produced by farmers themselves. So purchasing of quality seed is also very less. Okay. Then we have issues. So low quality seeds. We know two data. One is purchasing is only 30 to 35%. 30% will take, and 65% is by farmers themselves. So low quality of seeds, lack proper testing and certification, low acceptance of newer varieties, prevalence of one variety only. So they mostly depend on their own seeds which they have saved, 80 to 85%. So seed selection problem is there, low seed replacement rate. Then we have private investment is less, gap in infrastructure, innovation, technology, poor extension services. So this is very important, you will understand in later phases. Extension services. Okay, seed distribution is less. Then climate change is also one of the problem here. Way forward, seed production. So private sector participation has to be encouraged. So seedpreneur we can say, like entrepreneurs are seedpreneur. Enhancing seed research capacity, application of frontier science, seed village program can be strengthened, implement PPVFR Act, these things. Then also seed rolling plan should be there according to Dalwai panel. Seed storage and availability should be maintained. Seed quality also should be good. Okay. So that's about seed. We have only one scheme here, PP. So PPVFA Act. You just have a look into this act. That's all. So then we can go for GM crops. We know genetically modified crops. So we'll see this. Only commercially cultivated transgenic crop in India is cotton. That is BT cotton, we all know. Benefits of GM crop is it is 311.8 million tons more food in last 15 years. You can remember at least this, okay? Then examples we know BT cotton, brinjal, BT corn, HT BT cotton, DMH11, all these things. Process is like figuring out the identification of a target trait. Then we have a gene isolation. This amount is not much important for you, but for knowledge. First you have to select what kind of trait you want. Whether you want for climate resilient, climate change resilient, or drought resistant, or what, pest resistant. You have to figure out the target trait. Then gene isolation, modification, transformation, tissue culture, plant regeneration, selection and screening. Then finally field testing and regulatory approval. This is a process. Next we have regulatory agencies. For this we have FCC. Then we have GEAC. This is important, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation, and Department of Biotech. Then we have agriculture related, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. These are the agencies or regulatory agencies which will check on GM crops, okay? So MOFCC, that ministry we know, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Then we have Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, then Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation, Biotech Department, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So laws also we have Environment Protection Law 1986, rules for manufacture, use, import, export and storage of hazardous microorganisms, genetically engineered organisms or cell. This is there. Then guidelines for safety assessment of food derived from genetically engineered plant 2017 also is there. So for if you see the benefits, we have 3 P's: productivity, price realization and increased production. Then increased forex, high yield, increased nutritional value will be there, disease resistant, adaptation to climate change, lesser gestation period, increased shelf life, medicinal benefits. Whatever we need, such traits will be added. So that's why you can mention all the points here. But risks are there. What are the risks? We don't know the impact on the environment. It is unclear. Technical risk also is there. Issue with effectiveness, threat to the fauna, for animal bioaccumulation, biomanipulation, these things will happen, right? Socio-economic issues, marginalization of a small farmers. Every farmer won't able to buy it. So reaching last mile will be difficult, right? Then IP issues also is there. So according to 2017-18 economic survey, it says do not have a terminator gene. You should not have a terminator gene. Are disease resistant, have high shelf life, are non-food crops. They should be non-food disease resistant, okay? So we have to strengthen the regulatory, promote independent research, prioritize biosafety, environment sustainability should be taken care, stakeholder, this is like participatory decision making should be there, support farmer empowerment, encourage labeling and traceability, foster international collaboration, okay? Then we see about pesticides, another input. The data is 15 to 25% is the pesticides usage annually, okay? Then we have pesticides poisoning cases. We at least remember 1 or 2. Yavatmal, Maharashtra, Saran district in Bihar, Kasaragod district in Kerala, okay? Challenges. So quality of a pesticide, we have to go for testing. So pesticide testing capacity should be there. Inadequate quality monitoring, mismatch between the number of registered pesticide dealer and annual capacity of a state, underutilization of a existing capacity. So optimum application of fertilizer is needed, but that is not there because lack of skill and trained extension officers, right? Then we have limited the reach of IPM technology. Other issues like high price, high risk group, environmental degradation, indiscriminate use of fertilizers, all these pesticides, all these are the problems. So suggested reforms, we'll see. Create pesticide development and regulatory authority. We should be having regulatory authority. Then we should go for 3R: right manner, right dosage, and right time. At right time it should be applied. 3R should be followed again. Okay, right manner, right dosage, and right time. Overcome coordination issues. Advisory service should be there. Advisory and regulatory later. Curtail hazardous practices. Then ensure effective implementation of integrated pest management scheme. Okay, integrated pest management scheme should be effectively implemented. Expeditious passage of a pesticide management bill. Though this bill has to be passed. Corrective action should be there under the monitoring of a pesticide residues at national level scheme. Awareness. So many are there. You can take some of them. Reduce pesticide consumption. Go for sustainable pesticide. Recently one pesticide was on news. Pheromone related one. So you can use a sustainable one. Cross check once. Okay. Then we have integrated pest management, eco-friendly, and it should be with a benefit of minimum pollution, ecological equilibrium. Then issues poor pest surveillance. So ensure that surveillance. Then quality checks, availability has to be taken care. So these are some of the points about pesticides. So that's all for today. We'll catch up tomorrow.